Thank you for being here. I am so excited and I've been totally looking forward to interviewing you. And
I love talking about spray tanning. So
you debunk some of the common misconceptions of spray tanning.
So a lot of times I think people think that, especially if you have a little bit darker complexion, oh, I don't need a spray tan. I'm Latina, so a lot of times they'll be like, well, you're Mexican, why are you spray tanning? I'm actually a very pale person. And the thing is, a lot of times people think that you're gonna get that like booth spray tan look where you only have 3 levels, light, medium, and dark. But that's not the case. That's how you do end up looking orange, which is what most people are afraid of. But with a custom spray tan, we look at your undertone. I carry about 10 different solutions at a time sometimes, because first of all, not everyone's skin is the same. Everyone has a different undertone and everyone has a different goal that they want to go for. You know, a bride doesn't want to look like they just got back from the Bahamas. They want to look like themselves, just natural. And to me, it's kind of crazy because we spend all this money on hair, nails, makeup, but you forget the largest organ of your body, which is your skin. And that's your whole freaking skin in your body. So you want to make sure that you also give it a nice little glow, even out the skin tone, and just make you feel a lot more confident in your skin.
Welcome to Beauty Talk Podcast, sponsored by G Skin and Beauty Institute in partnership with estheticians.com. Today, we're joined by Sandy, founder and owner of BRONZ'D Chicago. After earning her MBA and working in marketing for Fortune 500 companies, Sandy found her true passion in spray tanning. In 2020, she launched BRONZ'D Chicago, offering luxury mobile spray tans. Sandy's dedication extends beyond her business. She mentors aspiring entrepreneurs to start their own spray tanning ventures. Join us as we explore her journey, debunk spray tanning myths, and learn about her mentorship program. Welcome, Sandy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. I am so excited and I've been totally looking forward to interviewing you and kind of sharing everything that, I've been a witness to since the beginning of your career. But I'm so excited to really just get into spray tanning and how it has evolved in the industry today. So thank you so much for being here.
Of course. I'm excited. I love talking about spray tanning. So
yes, I'm super excited. So I know that one of the main concerns of a lot of people out there are, the myths, right? And even me, when I used to think about spray tanning, I thought about bodybuilders and like the orange look and, all of that kind of stuff. So can you debunk some of the common misconceptions of spray tanning?
Absolutely. So a lot of times I think people think that, especially if you have a little bit darker complexion, oh, I don't need a spray tan. I'm Latina, so a lot of times they'll be like, well, you're Mexican, why are you spray tanning? I'm actually a very pale person. And the thing is, a lot of times people think that you're going to get that like booth spray tan look where you only have 3 levels, light, medium, and dark. But that's not the case. That's how you do end up looking orange, which is what most people are afraid of. But with a custom spray tan, we look at your undertone. I carry about 10 different solutions at a time sometimes, because first of all, not everyone's skin is the same. Everyone has a different undertone and everyone has a different goal that they want to go for. You know, a bride doesn't want to look like they just got back from the Bahamas. They want to look like themselves, just natural. So the reason why I love spray tanning, and one of the things that I realized when I started my business, was really the education that I had to do to my audience. I built business from scratch, and that was the hardest part, was just educating people. So I did do a lot of work for free just so that people knew what it was like. And to me, it's kind of crazy because we spend all this money on hair, nails, makeup, but you forget the largest organ of your body, which is your skin. And that's your whole freaking skin in your body. So you want to make sure that you also give it a nice little glow, even out the skin tone, and just make you feel a lot more confident in your skin.
Yeah, and I'm sure right now too, because of the season we're in, it's like eliminating those like harsh tan lines and things like that from being out in, just the wild getting tan, right?
Yes, especially if you have like a special occasion, let's say a bride. They don't necessarily want to have their bikini tan line showing on their strapless dress. So that's where sunless tanning comes into place, and it can really help give you that nice natural glow without the harmful rays of the sun, and making sure that you achieve the color that you want, not like over baking or not too light. So That's really, what I love about spray tanning.
Yeah, or like peeling on the day of your wedding or
burning.
something.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes.
So what is like the main difference and like the new technology and the formulas that you use in comparison to like a tanning booth, which is only like the 3 levels?
Yeah, those 3. Oh man, I'm so against those. But you know what? I've been there. I used to do the booths in the past until I found out and knew. So I only carry aloe vera or sugar-based solutions. So they're very safe. They're organic. I can even spray tan women who are pregnant after their first trimester. There's nothing harmful about a spray tan. It's basically a carb. DHA is a carb that gives you the color of your skin. And the way the tan fades is that every 7 to 10 days we exfoliate or our skin sheds off. So that's why prior to a spray tan, you should exfoliate all that dead skin off because it's going to adhere to the new skin cells. So again, the solutions are very moisturizing. On top of that, I do carry additional additives such as anti-aging concentrates or CBD or a pineapple scent just to enhance the experience and to add added moisturizers to your solution.
I didn't even know that CBD or anti-agents could go into a spray tanning solution.
Yes, there's a lot of fun things that you can do with spray tanning to customize it. So you really can give that, luxury experience to your clients where, if it's a 15-minute service, but you're also getting added moisturizers. I finish off with a little bit of a setting powder with a little shimmer. So it's a very fun experience altogether.
So what would you think that, or what would you say that are the benefits of choosing spray tanning versus, in bed tanning? I don't know if people even still do that.
Unfortunately, yeah. People still do. So even just the harmful UV rays, I love the sun. I love being in there until I did an actual scan and I saw how much damage the sun causes to your skin. And we want to age gracefully. We want to take care of our skin. So sunless tanning is really going to help you protect you from the harmful UV rays. And tanning beds are just a no, absolutely. They can cause cancer and it can really damage your skin, premature aging, fine lines and wrinkles, sun damage, sunspots, all that stuff that you can avoid by just doing a quick 15-minute spray tan service in the comfort of your own home.
So you also, I know that you travel to people's homes and then you also have a studio where people can come and get their spray tanning done.
Yes. And the reason I did that was I was super burned out in my 9 to 5 and I was really looking for something to make extra money, something that I loved. And I've been spray tanning since I was in high school. However, I wanted to do things smart. I was scared. Like most people that start a business, I was scared to do something. And I was like, well, I know this is going to work, but what if it doesn't? I don't want to, spend all this money on starting a business. Yeah. And then what if I don't like it? Which I knew I would, but you have to think of all these things. So the reason why I started doing mobile was because it's very low investment to start. You don't have to worry about paying rent. You don't have to worry about having like a high inventory. And I was like, okay, worst case scenario, let's say this doesn't work out. People don't want to spray tan. I'm like, at least I know the skill and I didn't spend a lot of money in it. But I would still say, but it's going to work. At the end of every sentence, it's going to work. It's going to work. And so that's why I started setting up in people's homes. I carry all my equipment and people really like that because especially after COVID, no one wanted to leave their houses anymore. They just want to be at home. So
yeah. And I think that it's also, something that's very intimate. Because I've been spray tanned by you and I chose to go, fully nude.
Yes.
But I know that now you're also doing like this really cute, like bikini line kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I could see how having it in your home would make you feel more comfortable to expose yourself. And
absolutely. You're home and then post spray tan too. You don't have to worry about like driving home and ruining your tan or getting dressed right away or Chicago weather conditions are insane. Like, what if it starts raining and you don't have the right clothing? You walk out, you ruin your spray tan that way. So that's why, especially for brides, quinceañeras, anyone doing a special occasion, I 100% always recommend mobile over studio tan. That way you're just at home. You can dry, and just relax afterwards and not do anything.
For sure. So then what are the steps that you would recommend for people to take who are looking for a spray tan? Like how soon should they be getting their treatments before a big event? And what should they expect afterwards?
Really good question. So for a special event, you want to tan 2 days before. So let's say you have a wedding on Saturday. The best day would be Thursday. So we call it Tan Thursdays in the industry because that's the busiest day. Everyone wants to look good for the weekend. If you're going on a vacation, I would recommend probably the night before your flight or 2 nights before shower would be great. You do have to keep in mind though, if you're going to be like in the ocean and pools, saunas, that all that can affect your spray tan. So that's where you can purchase additional products like DHA tan extender lotions to help extend the life of your tan. So you do have to take care of it. Obviously it's not permanent. It lasts about 7 to 10 days. And in order for you to get a great result, it goes both ways. So it's obviously my part also, but the client as well. You have to exfoliate the skin. You have to get all your other beauty services done beforehand. Your spray tan should be the last thing to do.
Okay.
And just make sure you're hydrated. You have the right products. Nothing that's going to strip the color right off. No exfoliating, things like that. And drink lots of water.
And drink lots of water. I mean, I feel like, nowadays people call me like the water Nazi, right?
Really?
I'm always like, we're like made up 75% of water. Drink water, drink water. So
Yes.
ladies, keep hydrated even for your spray tans.
Yes.
So then how do you stay up to date? Because, before I really started doing like these interviews, I didn't realize all the technology that goes into beauty products. I really just associated technology with like technology, electronics, things like that. So what have you noticed that in your industry has really changed with your formulations and things like that?
There's a lot of new companies coming up with their own solutions. Again, before you just had the traditional light, medium, dark in the booth spray tans. And now there's a lot of, for example, there's this one company that she focuses specifically on melanin rich spray tans. And I just discovered her solution. I am obsessed with it. So there's a lot of small business owners that found that there was a need for better solutions, better colors to possibly, for example, the melanin rich clients, a solution that you're going to use on a level Fitzpatrick 1 or 2, it's not going to do anything on a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But they still want to get a spray tan because then it's going to give them a nice even skin tone. So things like that, just more products, a lot more options where you're not just stuck with the traditional ones. Going back to the tan lines, that's a new trend right now. I feel like everything 90s is coming back. So the little stickers, the tape tans, that's all trendy that, a lot of our younger clients, I would say, is into.
Are going into it. And it's perfect for festival season, I think.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
How fun. That is so much fun.
That's what I love about spray tanning is it's fun and you just see the moment someone steps into my tent and they're pale, the moment so they get out and they see their tan line, it's just instant confidence.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Something about you just changes. You're just oh, okay, I wasn't ugly. I was just
I just needed a spray tan.
I just needed a spray tan. Yeah.
I love that. And for a lot of girls, that are listening to us and watching us today, I know that it's daunting to think oh gosh, I'm going to have to spend thousands of dollars, right, to go back for my cosmetology license, for aesthetics. So Sandy's here telling you guys that in the state of Illinois, we don't need any of that. So once somebody says, you know what, I'm really just ready to start a little side hustle, or I want to be in the beauty industry and I think this is for me, what does your mentorship program look like?
Yeah, great question. So the day of the mentorship, it's strictly hands-on. Okay. I do offer, they can still chat at me afterwards, and I help with social media. I do a lot of content creation. I help them with strategies on how to get their first clients. But the actual day of spray tanning, we are strictly focusing. I have at least 6 models per student, and we're just spray tanning. I'm getting them comfortable with the machine, with the movements, because I really feel that hands-on for me, especially that's the way I learn best, when someone's there helping me and, holding your hand and doing the movements and whatnot. And then I do have a portion of the manual that they take back home and they read the history of spray tanning, how it started. Coco Chanel made it trendy actually back in the 20s. So that stuff like that, I think that you should know about your industry, but not necessarily so important to spend classroom time on. That day we're just focused on hands-on. And then afterwards, I help them with launching their Instagram pages, getting the first few clients. I do give them homework. And I'm not one of those trainers where it's just okay, you took my class, bye. I very much keep in touch with most of my girls, the girls that are trying, and, I still work with them. We get together and we do content creation days. And right now, the space that I'm renting for the summer, I am renting with 2 of my students, which was awesome. We've built a nice little spray tanning community in Chicago, and I'm so proud of it. And, I just really take it very serious. When someone invests in me and they believe in me, it's something that you should not take lightly. And I genuinely want them all to be successful.
For sure. So this is what like sets you apart from maybe another, spray tanning, course or something like that. This is a true mentorship. This isn't like come in for a day and then see you never.
Right.
Like you're with them along the way. And I'm sure that there's tons of questions and, that arise once you're already like in the studio with a client in a tent, I'm sure that things come about that you're like, dang, I didn't ask that. So I'm gonna call Sandy.
Always. Yes. Yeah. My phone lines are always open. As long as I'm near my phone, I will respond to them. Like I said, last week I just met at a coffee shop with one of the girls because she didn't know how to use AI. And I was like, I will help you create content using AI where you can still feel like you're, in content, but not necessarily coming up with all the concepts yourself. So again, and this is stuff that it helps me as well because you want to surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing as you. They're the ones who are going to get it. And sometimes you just want to vent to someone who knows what you're talking about. I can't just vent to like my mom. She's gonna be like, ¿de qué hablas? What are you talking about?
Girl, 100%. I'm like, preach. And I'm sure that a lot of the entrepreneurs that are watching this today can identify with that, especially like first generation immigrants. You talk to your parents about these things. And I know that your father, he owns like a real estate business or he's a realtor, right? So maybe he understands you a little bit better. But I feel like a lot of us don't have somebody to reach out to and say, how do I do this? Where do I go? How do I start an LLC? How, what else do I need? Is it going to cost me a ton of money? What is the next step? So I'm so proud of you to be able to help women in that way because I feel that we're in an era where gatekeeping is gone, right? And we're really just pouring into each other and to other people in the industry. And I really love what you said about, surrounding yourself by other like-minded people. And even I'm sure that you have mentors, that that you can reach out to and be like, hey girl, like what do I do about this? Or what about this new law? Or what about this new thing? Absolutely. So it's absolutely essential.
Well, I have invested in mentors the last 4 years since I started my business. And that's one thing that is my biggest, is never stop learning. There's always something new to learn. And going back to like the community thing, I think I'm the first one in my family to start a business actually.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm like so it's like, I had to make my community and I had to reach out and I don't care. I'm not embarrassed to ask for help when needed.
Yeah.
And the great thing is that I've been very blessed to come across other women who are very much willing to help. And we are in a circle where, Pure Beauty, like we know the same people. And I have really just made a family there too, because I've learned so much from everyone there. And it's a nice little supportive community. And I had no experience in the beauty industry prior to starting here. I did marketing for a plastic surgeon and sales for him. That's how I kind of like started liking this industry. But I really just jumped into something without knowing anything about it. And I've just been learning along the way, except for my own, true love for spray tanning.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I love to tell people. Like, well, I don't have an experience. I want to be in the beauty industry, but I don't know where to start. Spray tanning is such a great way to start because it's not that it's easy, but it is a fun 15-minute service, Vero, that you can charge anywhere from $55 to $95 for a 15-minute service. And it costs us under $3 per spray tan. So it's a really nice markup. It's a good way to make money. And, who doesn't love to look good? And it's a great industry for like wedding season and stuff like that. So I always tell people, it's a great way to get started. And if you really push and use your network, it starts growing little by little. We were talking about this earlier. It's like little building blocks. Every day you do something and it's just going to get you closer to your goal.
Yeah.
Finding a couple friends, family members who are willing to be your models, to have you practice on them. And then I mentioned this earlier, but I started doing a lot of my spray tans for free, just reaching out to certain influencers and, women that I felt that they would love the service and just getting your name out there. It's all going to pay off at the end. But doing your research, finding a training program, and then don't take time off. A lot of times when you take the training, I just tell I give them homework right away. Like today, you're going to set up your Instagram. You're going to tan 2 people by the end of the week, because the moment you take some time off, that laziness is going to kick in. The imposter syndrome is going to kick in, all these doubts. And unfortunately, I've seen it happen with some of the girls that take my training, and I want you to do something with it. I want you to at least try. Don't just get discouraged when you see that you have so many other things you have to do, like we always make a joke because I do content creation and it's, for nurse injectors or whatnot. And it's like, oh, I signed up to be a spray tan artist, a social media person. Think of it this way. You're using a platform to get it out for free. You're not spending any money to market yourself. So why 100%. Would you not want to show up? So just be aware that you are going to have a social media presence. That's just the world that we live in now.
Yeah.
How else are you going to get the name? Word of mouth, cool, but you can reach thousands and thousands of people just by your content alone. So just be prepared that you are going to have to put yourself out there if you want to differentiate yourself from anyone else. Because at the end of the day, there's tons of spray tan artists, there's tons of hairdressers, tons of everything. At the end of the day, your clients are going to buy you, your story, your vibe, your energy. Like they want to be around you. So that is one of my number one advice / tips for my girls is that show up online and show up as yourself and post, even if you don't want to, because it's going to be a big part of running this business. And in my opinion, any business nowadays.
Oh yeah, 100%. So if you could leave a tip for all these girls that want to start their business, what was the biggest change or maybe the smallest change that you made in your personal life to be able to reach this level of success? What have you done? Secret sauce.
Yeah. Honestly, is working on yourself. Your mindset. Your mindset is the number one thing that I work on every single day. And it sounds silly and it's sometimes you hear and you're just like, oh my goodness, whatever. But like journaling, listening, I listen to podcasts on a daily. I wake up and instead of putting the radio on, I put YouTube morning affirmations where it's just telling me you're great, you can do this, you inspire others, things like that. Because again, you have to show up, you have to get up. And some days you don't want to. When you own your own business, it's just you. You don't have other people to fall back on. So if you're having an off day, guess what? You have to push through it. Yeah. And so just really working on my mindset, doing some yoga, journaling. When I get the intrusive thoughts or, negative thoughts or maybe imposter syndrome kicks in, I just go right back to that, to centering, deep breathing. It sounds like very insignificant, but it is anything. Like if your mindset's not right, it's impossible for you to move through anything. And again, just knowing that I'm going to do this, no matter what. When I started the business, we talked about this. I was like, well, what if it doesn't work? And then I would play through every scenario. Okay, well then I just lost, $1,500, but I still have a spray tanning machine and I know how to spray tan. So I started this with a business partner. It's another whole nother story. But I was like, at the end of the day, we can at least spray tan each other. So it's not a loss no matter what. And then I would think, Sandy, you go to a club and you spend this on a weekend. Like, come on. And 100%. Yeah, you don't get anything back in return. So why not invest into something that's going to just keep giving you back and helping you grow as an individual? And not just that, but inspiring. I love that I've inspired others to start their spray tanning business as well. It's such a great feeling. So just having that mindset and yes, you want to feel those negative emotions when they do show up. You don't want to just ignore them either. You want to feel them and say, okay, well, if this didn't work out, what would be the worst case scenario? Once you play it out, it's like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. But at the end, I would always end it, but you know what? This is going to work. Yeah. I will do, and this is I'm a little extremist, but I'm like, my mom sometimes would tell me, why don't you go back to your 9 to 5? Like, don't you want to have something more stable? Like you went to school, you spent all this money on all these degrees. Yeah. And I just look at her, I'm like, Mom, I would rather die than go back into a job where I feel like I'm being restricted. Like I'm not being myself. You're just in the matrix and you're just showing up like little robots. And it just wasn't for me. And you know what? There's nothing so my brothers are in the workforce, one's, in pharmacy and we need those types of people. We need those types of jobs. But I always felt like out of place in them. Yeah. And now I just feel so happy that I took that step and I'm like, this is exactly where I was meant to be. And we're talking about all the projects that we have and that just keeps me alive. Like I'm not a person that can do something repetitive or, and every day with spray tanning, with content creation, it's something new. Yeah. So I love that.
And that's what I also love about the beauty. We're like forever going to continue to evolve, right? Because the biggest market in the United States and probably around the world are women.
Yes.
Right?
And it is recession proof. Yeah. Like think of when we were in quarantine. We were dying to go get our nails done. We were dying to get our hair. Yes, everything. And during COVID, I was still working at my plastic surgery job. And in August of 2020, that's when I had my highest number of sales because everyone was depressed and everybody was just like, what is going on? But I want to look good, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people still always want to look and feel good for themselves. So I really do think that the spray tan industry, or just the beauty industry in general, is recession proof. And right now, particularly, spray tanning is having such a moment. It's a lot of more people are like learning about it and it's coming back, and people are being a little more conscious about like skin health and whatnot. And I think that it's growing to, I forgot how many, don't quote me on this, but like in the billions. It's going to grow by 2027. So this is yes, this is like the best time to get into it, where it's not so oversaturated yet. And again, it's just really having a moment right now.
And thank you so much for sharing everything. I feel like we all want to know, like, what is it that, you know, Sandy did to get to this level? We all want to know the secret sauce. So you heard it here first, right? It's really just working on yourself and deciding, right? You have to make that firm decision that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it all the way. And for, you know, all our brides and business owners that are looking for photo shoots and branding shoots and, you know, bodybuilding competitions and all of that, know that this is your source for all of your services. She has a great team that she works with, and we're based out of Chicago, and soon, hopefully, nation worldwide.
Yes,
right?
hopefully, yes, that is the goal. Yes.
Yes, that's where we're going. I'm like, I could see it in your future for sure. So thank you so much for sharing everything that you did with us, not only for spray tanning, but for business and entrepreneurship. I feel like a lot of women are going to be able to identify with you and look for you as a resource. So thank you so much. And for everybody else who's looking to keep up with all the tips and tricks in the beauty industry by beauty professionals, please follow us on social media and our website at beautytalkpodcast.com.